Okay, guys, we certainly appreciate everyone coming tonight, and we wish Andrew only the best, and we thank him for all his efforts that he's done as a Colt, and going forward, we have nothing but gratitude for him going to battle with us, and you know, we're gonna. Trust me, we're going to be ready and show up in Los Angeles. I can promise you that. But right now, we're just thankful about what Andrew's meant to this city. I know a lot of range of emotions go through our fans, and that's a natural thing that we can all relate to. It was something, obviously, that we were hoping that might be something that could have went a different direction, but he had to follow his heart, and that's what he did. And so, again, we have nothing but gratitude and thankfulness for the blood, sweat, and tears he spilled as number 12, and part of our hearts broken tonight, you know. But you know, we know we must go forward, and we couldn't be more excited to get fired up about our opener. So, Chris, let me turn it over to you, and then we'll let Coach talk, and if you guys got questions, we'll go from there.
It's been an emotional week. I think everybody in here knows my relationship with Andrew, that, you know, from the first day I met him, you know, to watch him grow, to watch him go through what he went through, you know, the struggle, to overcome the shoulder, to watch the joy on his face last year playing football, to the moment, we've talked about it a few times, you know, the moment in Tennessee, and, you know, both of us got tears running down our face just from what I watched him go through, and then to win the division in Tennessee, or to clinch a playoff berth in Tennessee. So it was an emotional week. Wish him the best. Wish Andrew Luck the best. You know, for those people that booed tonight, I want you to, it's an emotional time, and I understand that. But this young man has done a lot for the city of Indianapolis and for the Indianapolis Colts. Nobody died, and we keep moving forward. And that's what we'll do, and we'll make this city proud.
Thanks, Chris.
You know, it's hard to put into words the emotion that you feel. Thankfully, Chris and I and Mr. Irsay have had some time to digest this, and it's been hard to digest. But we do celebrate his career. Being in that room with him for the last, 18 months was just the experience of a lifetime. You know, a true competitor in every sense of the word, a great teammate, and just one of the truly unique players to ever put on an NFL uniform, and certainly to wear that horseshoe proud. So for the coaching staff in that locker room, I mean, just getting a chance to work with this guy every day was incredible. To be in those meeting rooms, the fun that he spoke of that we had, I mean, you literally had to pinch yourself. We had so much fun in every way. But there's no doubt when you hear him talk about the cycle of pain and injury and rehab, you could feel that. You could feel it take its toll. So as Mr. Irsay and Chris said, tonight, you know, we celebrate what he's done for this team, this city, and the game in general. Andrew and I had a talk sometime in the last week or 10 days about this, in the sense of, as much as we all hurt for him and with him and celebrate what he's done, that it can also be equally true that we share excitement about where this organization is going in the future. And I couldn't be more thankful to work for the owner that I work for and work with Chris in this capacity. And the three of us are just really excited about where we're headed. And as much as this hurts, and as much as we love Andrew, and we respect this guy is a unique individual in every way. And so tonight we celebrate that and we thank him for all he's done.
Take questions.
Frank, how do you, the team is finding out that he's retiring and expecting him to go in, how do you handle that and help them process that over the next 12 weeks?
There's a saying in football that everybody knows and everybody lives by. It's next man up. And although this circumstance is unique, that's a universal principle in this game. And no one is exempt. Andrew and I had a discussion this week or 10 days ago. That's one of the things that he said to me. That's what I love about this game. I know as hard as this is, what he was saying, as hard as this is for me, I know in a sense, and what I expressed to him is you made a unique contribution, but the game goes on. That's just the way this game is. And that's one of the great things about the game. And Andrew has expressed that to me himself.
Hey, Chris, at what point did you get a sense? Did you give me a sense that that came across Andrew's mind before you guys chatted?
No, I think it was Monday. Monday, we all sat down and we had a talk. Kind of continued through the week. Some emotional talks on all parts. Not any negative emotional talks. Just some, real honest talks. But no, did not get a sense. And I mean, because I watched Andrew go through the shoulder and his routine and, and how he rehabbed and how he worked through things. He was going through that same process, all the way from, when he walked in the building. Finally, he came in Monday and we started working through this.
What was your
Jim,
level
this
of
is not,
surprise?
I mean, this feels like not just a gut punch to your team, but to the city. And you made the decision 6 or 7 years ago to move on from the greatest player who's ever played here to draft this kid. What was your reaction when you first found out that this guy was willing to walk away?
Well, again, trying to bring some clarity to it, as Chris and Frank both expressed, and I'll say, it's no secret, we go to Houston, we win. Okay, we go to Kansas City, we come up short. He plays in the Pro Bowl in Orlando, and then the offseason hits. And so, of course, the question is, always going to be asked is, from, Dave Hammer leaving me a voicemail saying we have a minor lower leg thing that we're looking at, but it should be okay, to where we are today. I mean, that's what Andrew's going to go figure out. And so, yes, it's tough, but at the same time, when, we moved on, there was no question that you had to take Andrew. Peyton was going to the end of his career. You couldn't salary cap wise keep them both, and that was a no-brainer. But I never felt that he owed me to play until he's 40 or until he's 36 or whatever. I mean, this is an unusual situation. I mean, we see Tiger Woods come back and win the Masters. We see, different things. Michael Jordan retire and unretire. I mean, in this case, we just wish him the best, and maybe that he finds some clarity, and maybe, again, he's just going to be 30 years old late next summer, or, right around there. And so, obviously, he has to find his way. And he was very specific to say, hey, this has been my journey, no one else's journey. This guy next to me played a lot of years, took a lot of snaps in this league as quarterback, and most guys will play that thing out until the very end, till 40 or whatever. But in this case, he, got into a position where he just felt that it would be counterproductive for everyone to continue on. So I know this. It is, ironic in some ways, but as Chris said, again, Chuck Pagano's out there. I'm hugging him before the game. He's cancer-free. He's well. That is a great miracle story. We can go to Riley Hospital. We can see a bunch of miracle stories. This, we love this game, and our fans love it, and we love them for loving it. So we hurt with them. We're confused with them. And so is Andrew. Everyone's a human aspect of part of this thing. And so we just, we know there's some spaces to be filled in. Where did this thing go from, he goes and plays the Pro Bowl, and then next thing no mini camp, what happened, and that's what Andrew's going to go figure out, and we support his journey at this point.
Chris, you brought in Jacoby Brissett 2 years ago. Once week one comes, people are going to forget it. No longer Andrew Luck. Can the Colts continue forward? What is it about Jacoby Brissett that gives you guys confidence that you guys offensively can still be productive?
Frank will both be able to answer this question, but we've got a good football team. It's a good football team. We're young, good on both fronts, some good young skilled players, and a good young quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. We're not going to ask Jacoby Brissett to be Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was a unique player. But Jacoby Brissett is a winning football player in this league, and he is I think you heard what Andrew said. Jacoby Brissett is a rare leader. He is. He's a rare human being, man. That locker room loves Jacoby Brissett. They love him. I think you saw it last year when as we went through the season. This is a special guy, man. And I'm excited to watch him play. I am.
Frank, did you touch on the same?
Yeah, I would just echo what Chris said. First of all, personally, our organization, to have that kind of leadership at quarterback, to go from Andrew Luck to Jacoby Brissett, different kinds of leaders, but both elite leaders. I mean, these guys are both elite. Jacoby has those qualities as a human being, as an athlete. This guy is as good as they come as a teammate.
Jim, did you try to talk Andrew out of this? You guys met?
I again tried to be the best sounding board I could for him. As a father of children that are older than him, life has, its spiritual journey, people. I mean, this is, this stuff is kind of a bigger than all of us sort of issue, and I would never try to talk someone out of something that their heart truly wasn't into, and so I was there to absolutely support him and counsel him. Big decisions you hold off on as long as you can. Hold off on them, and then when you have to make them, then you make them, and. I know that he got great support from his wife, from his Uncle Will, from his dad and mom. And, this I know is not, obviously this doesn't happen. It's not a common day occurrence or common even, decade occurrence. It's unusual, but, it happens. And I think, Andrew was clear to say, and I want to be clear to say, it's a great game, and this is not an attack on the game at all. And he's an outstanding young man who is not selfish, but he simply knows that for him to get in the right frame of mind, and, it's a tough thing. Look at, he's leaving, $450, $500 million on the table potentially. I mean, $500 million. And he's saying, you know what, I want to have my integrity has to be real. I have to be able to look TY in the eye, look my teammates, look coach, look Chris in the eye and say, I am all in. And he just didn't feel at this point in time he could do that. And look at, I'd be a liar to say, he's only going to be 30 next year. I mean, if he has I talked to him about it. It's a transformative situation. It's a worm becoming a beautiful butterfly. It's big. He has to change and evolve from this as a young man. And I think that he's determined to do that. what that means in terms of his career as a football player remains to be unseen at this point.
Do you think he ever plays in the NFL again?
I don't rule it out because, as quickly as this thing sort of descended on us and as mysterious as it was coming upon us, it could leave the same way. And that's just a fact. I mean, it's very hard to measure sometimes our human experience and how we all perceive life from our chair. And so, I mean, I would say it's possible, but we know, we have to get on and get ready to play and have a great football team. And we are focused on having a great season still, and we really believe we can. And so it's possible. But again, I think no one knows, and he'd be the first to tell you that no one knows, so only time will tell.
Chris, I'm curious here first. I'm curious, Chris, in your role as GM, how do you deal with the human aspect of it initially? And then you've got to move on, you've got to make the move, you've got to move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you separate them, or do you have to have a 24 hours of whatever?
No, look, the human aspect, y'all know me. I connect. I do. It's probably, with all our players. I care about them. We don't always agree, but I care about our players. I want them to do good. I want them to do good when they leave our building. And that's it's hard. It's been a tough week. It has. And but saying that, yeah, we're moving forward. That's what we do. And I think I've talked about this a lot, but obstacles happen. They just do. And every time, and Lord knows they've happened a few times since I've been here. But I'll say this, every time we've faced one, we've overcome it. And that's what we'll do again. That's our jobs. That's what we do.
Chris, since the season ended, any regrets over how it was handled medically?
No. No.
You feel like when you went out there to work out last Saturday, there was still a chance he could play? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely did. He played in the Pro Bowl. Yeah.
Chris, could you tell how it was taking a toll on him emotionally these last couple of years going through the cycle?
A little bit, yeah. It was frustrating. You know what was frustrating? Because Kevin just asked, that question. It kind of ties with you. He was so excited at the end of the year. I'm going into the off season healthy, feeling good. I'm gonna get better. Man, our team's gonna get better. Here are the things I can do, and then it didn't play out that way.
You've come really close with him in the last, since you took over. You've been there with him. Pretty dark times for him. In the back of your mind, do you ever think maybe he'll just get tired of this and walk away?
No.
He is human at some point.
I know, but no. He's the ultimate competitor, man. No, I never did. I just, I saw him as the shoulder was hard. That was freaking hard, man. That was a hard year. But no, I didn't envision this.
Well, that's something I'm interested in, because you've seen that competitor side of him. You saw him scratching and clawing to get back out there in 2017, and then that juxtaposed against this. Not a criticism of any decision here. I'm saying it's kind of interesting, right? You compare those two aspects, this decision versus the guy who's competitive you're talking about. Would make sense of that?
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could. I think Mr. Irsay said it. We all got our own journeys. Andrew's got his journey. We'll support him. We're going to support him.
And he was the first to say that, November, December of this year was the greatest time he had in his life. It was the most fun that he's ever had in his life. And then somewhere along the way, this dark shadow emerged in the corridors of all of our hallways. And we don't like it. We don't like it. none of us like. Andrew doesn't like it, and so I think it really comes down to him, taking a step back and seeing, is there a way that he can gain a different perceptive point of view about, putting everything into context and that sort of thing. Because obviously these contradictions, it doesn't always add up. We can't, 1 and 1 doesn't equal 2 right now. And, everyone, including Andrew at the first of the list, is frustrated that it doesn't. But right now, it doesn't, and that's what, he's going to go out and figure out for himself and his family.
A couple more. Physical toll that he went through early in his career. You name a body part that was beat up. Do you have any regret about the way that was handled then and the dominoes that fell that led us to here?
No, I mean, God, Peyton, I mean, seeing what that guy went through, I mean, we protect those guys. It's not touch football, obviously, but even when they roam out of the pocket, guys know if they even look like they're trying to, do any harm or damage, the flag's coming out. And so, the game has been led towards the most possible safe way to protect that position, because none of us are hiding around the fact that, hey, that quarterback position and getting high play out of that is a paramount for franchise success. But that's the reason that I know the three of us feel, we are ready to go to battle, and we have tremendous certainty that Jacoby is a guy that can change this narrative. I was there when Bledsoe got hurt and Brady came on the field. Who's a skinny guy from Michigan? He was there with the Nick Foles thing. I can see Dick Vermeil crying now, and look what happened. It doesn't always happen, but man, that's the greatness of waking up and being this game. This is incredible stuff. And it affects all our lives. It has a symbolic effect on how we look at life and how we move through life, because both of these guys have said, Andrew's a special guy. He really is. Uniquely talented, 7 billion people on the planet, maybe 5 or 6 can do what he can do. And so, we're hoping that it's 7 and Jacoby's that guy. So I'll put it that way, man.
Okay, last one.
Do you have any separate? We had your introductory press conference, January or February 2017. One of the things you stressed was it can't be about one guy. Andrew's great. Is this sort of going to test your?
Absolutely, and we're excited. Teams win. Teams win. It's what makes this game great. Teams win. Don't write the end of the story yet. Don't write the end of the story yet. Story's just starting, man. It's not the end of the story yet. Everybody gonna write the end of the story, but I'm telling you, the story's not over yet.
Was there a specific event that struck out Andrew's calf or ankle at the beginning?
Last year, or
Just how did it get hurt? How did it start?
he had it dinged last year, some point during the season. I don't know exact date. I don't have stuff in front of me. But then at the end, it was cleared up. He played in the Pro Bowl. And then in Europe, he started complaining about a calf when he was over in Europe. And we checked it out. Then we got back. We were still treating the calf. Then we went to the ankle. It's kind of what I went through a week ago. Everything we went through, when I went through from the calf, and then we got the calf better, then it was the other part of the kind of the higher ankle specialist, and we did it in May, we did it in August. It's kind of what I said the other day.
Frank, this past week, did you have a separate combo with Jacoby, and what was, if you did, what was that one-on-one interaction like?
No, we didn't, because of the integrity of, not saying anything,
You haven't said anything to him yet?
No, Andrew said something to Jacoby, I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
He told Jacoby yesterday. So Jacoby and I just had a brief conversation, because this is hard for Jacoby now, because these guys are close. And my only comment to Jacoby was, let's just take a couple days to digest this, and then we'll talk after the game. Because, Jacoby was pretty emotional about this as well. This is hard for him. They're very close.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.